Hi, I'm doing Paul McWhorter's Pico W lessons and I'm up to lesson 118, which was all about being able to use JSON to save your program state to the flash memory on your Pico, which means that when you start again it will know where it left off, if you know what I mean. And Paul used the example of having a lock and the program locks the door, and he went outside and then there was a power cut and came back in, and it locked him out. Well, he didn't come back in, he tried to come back in. Anyway, so it's all using a servo, this one. Now I just wanted to show you something because I have previously used JSON files for a colour dictionary. So I don't know if anyone would be interested in this. So there's the just the dictionary and the reading in the dictionary and then writing it out. But instead of writing it out every time anything's changed, it's when you go Control-C, you are given the option of saving the dictionary. And I just thought maybe someone would be interested. I'll leave a description in, no, I'll leave a link in the description for that, but we can forget about that, the real homework. Now I'm using, this program isn't very elegant because I've cobbled it together from other things because I'm going away tomorrow, and I'm using Pico 0, but it doesn't actually make any difference to the logic whether you use that or you just use machine and pin and everything. We'll come back to the functions. I'm using a class, so I don't have to have global variables because I don't like them, and it means you just, as opposed to going servopos, you go g.servopos, and this is where I set the buttons up with Pico 0, and then you can just go the button name dot when pressed equals servo plus, now, or servo minus, and that is a function that I've defined up there, and that isn't calling it, that is just setting up a reference for when you press it, that is what you want to call. And no, you don't have the open close bracket after the function name. If you do, everything will go horribly wrong. Right, so there's my name of my file, and if you use with open, once you drop out of that indented bit, it closes everything and takes care of everything, which is quite good. And you can also put it in a try except. So I've got this try except, so if the file's there, I just load in the servo position. Otherwise, I just set it to 0. What else? Oh, that's setting up the servo value. No, setting up servo, and I don't know why, but with Pico 0 they assume you only want a play of 90 degrees, so that is just setting up 180 degrees, and then I've set the servo value to the either the saved value from the file or 0, and because I'm using Pico 0, I wanted the values need to be from 0 to 1, but for this program I thought it was a better demonstration to have everything in degrees. I don't need anything in the while true loop because of those, but I've got the while true loop just to keep the program alive. So we'll go back up here. This is what happens when you press the blue button there. It says if the servo is already at 180, I don't want to move it to 180 again, if you get my drift, because otherwise if you don't have that bit in, you will be setting it to whatever, and if that's 180, you'll be saving the value of it to your file again, which would be pretty silly. You know, I know you've got 100,000 tries for each position, but you may as well save what you can. So what it does is it comes in, if it's 180, drop out. Otherwise, I'm doing it in jumps of 30 degrees, and that is just to say don't go beyond 80. I'm setting the value divided by 180, so it's in 0 to 1, printing out what I'm setting it to, and then I'm going to say calling save position. Save position, I'm just printing out the position, and then again I'm using the with open, and I'm just saving the position. So that's all pretty easy, and the servo minus is exactly the same, only minus. So we'll run this jolly old program. Right, it's initially at 60, so if I take it down, doesn't do anything if I'm already at the min. Up, 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 up. Right, I'll stop. We'll go into files, and there we have servo pos text, and it's at 120, which is handy. What else can we do? So if we start, get rid of that. If we run the program again, it doesn't do anything. It says initial servo position is 120. So now it's at 60. So that should be written to the file. We'll just check. Doink. Files. Servo position. Yep, 60. Get rid of that. Delete that file. Yes, I do. Right. We'll try again. Watch the servo. We'll run that. And it says servo file not found, setting position to 0, which is exactly what you wanted it to do. So we'll put it so it's got a nice position. Yeah. And I've got the program saved as main.py. So what I would do is I will unplug it, and then I will plug it in to that's the breadbolt thing. Whoops. And it's connected to another board at the moment. So I'll plug that in, and I'll turn it on. And the program ought to be running. Of course, we don't have any messages, so we will. There, it remembered its position. No messages there, obviously, because it isn't connected to Thonny anymore. And completely untethered, well, apart from to the battery. So that's my program.